Hello folks, and welcome back again. Today we're going to have a look at the very basic stuff that you may need to get started with home recording and music production. I'll walk through the stuff that I have and you'll see it's pretty minimal, but you can get pretty good results anyway. Let's take a look. Hello folks, and welcome to my little humble recording studio. As you can see, it's just a spare bedroom in my home. It measures 8 by 10 feet, and I share it with a washing machine and dryer, as you can see behind me, as well as a wardrobe, a chest of drawers, other stuff you might find in any spare bedroom. But really, it is all that I need because, as I have said, I am a solo musician and I'm a hobbyist, so I don't have clients coming in whom I have to impress with fancy gear and subdued lighting. No, this suits me fine. So let's have a look at what you will need to get started. First of all is a computer, and the good news is the one that you're using right now to watch this video is probably going to be sufficient. The one that I use is quite highly spec'd, but I also have a second computer which is just a little Dell with an i3 processor, 8 gigabytes of RAM, and that does a perfect job as well. So no need for big high specs if you are doing the kind of stuff that I am doing. Would I ever recommend at least 8 gigabytes of RAM, and a solid-state hard drive is always a good thing. Now let's have a look at some software to record into. Here there's going to be a multitude of choices and opinions out there on the internet, but I want to just put one thing into perspective. The correct term for this recording equipment is a digital audio workstation, or DAW for short. Now the clue there lies in the first word, digital. You know, it just crunches ones and zeros, and all the others do the same job. It just comes down to workflow, ease of operation, and included features. Now that is why I have chosen Mixcraft, because although I've used a couple of the others to try them out, I find Mixcraft to have by far the easiest learning curve. Its ease of operation is exceptional, and it's loaded with features like plugins and virtual instruments. I can highly recommend it, not because I'm paid to say so, or I work for Mixcraft. No, I am a customer, and I have been since 2011, and I started on version 5 and have progressed through to the current version 10, which came out in June of 2023. I'd just like to add that Mixcraft also offers a free 14-day trial, so I would leave a link for that in the description below and you can have a look for yourself. Okay, up next is going to be an audio interface. Now that is essentially an external sound card, and the reason we would need that is because your computer sound card is generally not up to handling top quality audio production. Now this is the model that I use. It's a Focusrite Solo, and as you can see it only has 2 inputs, one for a microphone here and one for a guitar. And really that is all that I need because I'm only using one or other 99% of the time. Very seldom do I use both. And I've been very happy with Focusrite, and I know it to be one of the top sellers in the world today. Also, we will need to monitor what we are recording and listening to when we're playing it back. And for that we can use monitors like these or headphones, and most people use both. But I just want to say that these little speakers up here, I don't use at all for my recording. They are just as a reference to hear what things would sound like on cheap bookshelf speakers. I exclusively use headphones for this, And these are the ones that I use. Now, yes, they are a bit expensive. I got mine secondhand on eBay quite cheaply. But what I would recommend also is these Sony headphones. And the reason I recommend that is because they are in turn recommended by one of the top audio production engineers in the world today. That is Andrew Sheps. He's responsible for the likes of Adele, Metallica, etc. So I reckon if they're good enough for him, who am I to complain? And then we're going to need microphones. Two types generally, dynamic or a condenser microphone. Now the dynamic microphone is the one that I'm speaking on right now. And it's not an expensive mic at all. It's a $30 microphone. And I use this for my voiceover work. And I also use it to record my acoustic guitar, which you can see in the corner there. And it works absolutely great. The condenser mic that I use is a Rode NT1A. That's it up behind me there. And that is generally more sensitive, and it's quite a bit more expensive, I think, about $150, $160 right now. But I want to just add that I've also used this little microphone in a project on my channel. I will also link to that in the description below, where I exclusively use this microphone for the vocals, the harmonies, and everything else. So really, I would just start with something inexpensive like this, and if you feel the need, you can upgrade to something a little bit more pro later. Of course, with microphones would come cables, and you would need a stand, either the type that I'm using right here, that just clamps onto a desk, and it's adjustable, as you can see. Or, of course, a freestanding boom stand, like I have here next to the guitar. Next up, I would recommend a MIDI keyboard, especially if you're going to be dealing with virtual instruments. And this is the one that I use. It's only a 32 key, but then again, I'm not a keyboard player. At best, I can do a couple of 2 or 3 fingered chords, but then through methods like overdubbing and multi-tracking, I can add in melody lines after that as well and blend them together. Now, although it only has 32 keys, it has these octave buttons, so I can octave up or octave down and gain the whole range of an 88 key keyboard. And then just finally, a nice to have but not essential is a MIDI control surface like this one which I use. Now this is the Korg Nano Control 2, and it can be programmed to operate your recording software. As you can see, I can remotely control the transport functions, the individual track volumes, and pan knobs at the top. A very useful piece of kit, and I'm going to do a separate video on that and show you how it all works and how to hook it up with the software. Thank you once again for watching. I do hope that you enjoyed. And if you'd like to watch the next video, it'll be right over there. And of course, my guy in the corner there, Herman, is your guy if you wanted to subscribe or have a look at the rest of the content on my channel. Thank you. See you in the next video.